Hello, everyone. I hope you all are doing well and keeping safe during this very strange and unsettling time. My name is Ahmed, and I am originally from Syria. I was born and raised in Aleppo, and I had to move out of that country back in late 2012 due to the conflict in Syria. I came to the UK in 2015, almost 5 years ago. Since then, I managed to, I came here as an asylum seeker, but then I was granted the refugee status. Since then, I also managed to finish my master's at the University of London, and then I was offered a full time employment. So currently, I live in England with my family, and things are looking much better and more settled for me. Since now it's the refugee week, I thought I would share a few thoughts with you because this year is very, very different, and we are all living in these very unusual times. And one of the things that comes to mind when I look at the current situation with COVID-19 here in the UK is it reminds me of my days back in Syria in 2012 when I was living in the midst of a conflict zone, bombing and shelling and lack of food, lack of electricity, living in uncertainty. And there are lots of similarities between that time and what the current situation with COVID-19. Probably one of the most important things is this feeling of uncertainty and the fear, death, anger, not knowing what's going to happen, the news. These are all kind of the things that reminded me of my past experiences back in Syria. But also, it led me also to think about, how privileged I am because now I am living in a country where probably most of my needs, certainly my basic needs, are met. I have a roof over my head. My kids are safe. I have food. Um, you know, um, I don't have to worry about lots of things, which makes me again think about what many other people who are forced to leave their homes, their countries are experiencing. I mean, look at the situation in Syria, in Afghanistan, in Iraq, in Sudan, in the Congo, in Venezuela, and in many other places where many civilians, many innocent people are forced to leave their homes. This in itself is a very traumatic experience. And now, given the fact that many of us are living in this lockdown situation, imagine how difficult it can be for those who find themselves in this kind of forced displacement situation. So really, my key message here is that that these are very very challenging and difficult times, but hopefully together we'll be able to get through it. But I think also it presents us an opportunity to think about how lucky many of us are to have the support or kind of the basic needs that we really need, and also to reflect and think about the many people who are finding themselves living in these very difficult situations in refugee camps, in displacements, but also to kind of talk about the incredible contributions that many people who are doing an incredible job on the front line, being it the NHS, the key workers, all those people, many of us who are very grateful for all their hard work that kept us going throughout this crisis, but also to kind of to highlight the fact there are lots of these people who probably were previously came as migrants or refugees, and also just to celebrate the contributions of many of these people, and probably say it really doesn't matter where you come from, because if you look at this situation with COVID-19, when that virus hits, It really does not discriminate if you are a refugee or an asylum seeker or a native. It does not discriminate against anybody. And that probably should be, again, something to highlight most of the time, that we as humans, we all work together to help and support each other, especially during these very difficult and hard times, and also be probably thankful really to the contributions of many people who are working on the front line to help all of us. So thank you very much for all of you, and please stay safe.